All right, everyone. We are back with the Island Guys, FPL. I'm Dari.
I'm Dari. What's up, my brother?
Yeah. In this episode, we're going to talk about the unfortunate injury of Virgil van Dijk and the effect it's going to have on Trent and Robbo. We're going to talk about Chelsea attackers, Spurs attackers, and just the poor defenses. We're going to talk about how serious we think Everton, Villa, and West Ham is. And before we do that, we're going to do some housekeeping about our league and what's really going on.
Yes, sir. It was an exciting week. A lot of things to talk about. The West Ham comeback, the Southampton comeback.
Yeah. It's
Let's
going
get
to...
into it.
All right, well, you want to do the housekeeping first, or...
Oh, sure.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's get into it straight
Let's
away.
see who won our league, the Island Vibes at
All
FPL
right.
League this week.
So the guy with the highest score this week of 96 points, and he's from Kuwait. I didn't know we had anyone from Kuwait in the league, so shout out to Mohammed Mustafa. He had 96 points. He has guys like Pope in his team, Wan Bissaka. He had Rashford. He had Bruno captain. That was a very good move. He had Jimenez, Ings, Werner. 96 points. So shout out to Mohammed Mustafa from Kuwait. And in leading the league in first place currently is the same person who was leading last week, which was Bruno Fernandes from St. Lucia. Hope I don't mess up your last name, Bruno.
Bruno, congrats,
Yeah,
man.
he's in first. He had like Martinez, Saiz, Bruno Fernandes. He had Salah Cap. He had Son, so he's doing well, maintaining first place. Once again, we're gonna keep the league open till about November, December, and then we're gonna close it off and announce our grand prize for the winner.
All right.
And yeah, final housekeeping. Some quick things. We had Son and Bruno in our picks. We did well there. We had Zuma and Dunk. We didn't do well there.
Yeah, the defense was bad.
Vardy didn't play, which was my pick. So those were some of our picks from last weekend, and we'll get them better again once again this week.
This crazy FPL 2020-2021 season. Let's jump into that tackle by Pickford. I know a lot of commentators are saying, for me personally, I don't think he should be suspended, even though he's my goalkeeper, which I'm very disappointed about. But yeah, I just feel bad for Virgil, but he looks like the type of guy who'll come back. But FPL-wise, Trent and Robbo, you go first. What are your thoughts on how that's going to shape Liverpool, FPL-wise?
I just want to give my quick 2 cents on that Pickford situation. I believe it should have been a red card. I thought that was a very nasty tackle. We saw Richarlison get a red card later on in the game for something similar. As for the FPL effects of no Van Dijk, I saw a stat today that showed since Klopp has been in charge, the results with and without Van Dijk, and they are very drastic. I believe it's going to have an effect on Liverpool. They're definitely going to have less clean sheets. Would it make Trent and Robbo less appealing to me? Slightly, because I think those guys are gonna get the attacking returns regardless. Trent hasn't done too well so far. He's in my team, but I'm still not gonna panic because of Virgil being out and sell Trent yet. It might happen in a couple of weeks, but I'm gonna hold faith for a little while. See how Klopp adjusts the team. Does he put Fabinho in the back? Is he gonna go to 3 at the back and play Trent and Robbo as further up as wing backs? So I'm going to give that some time. But yes, the clean sheet points are definitely going to decrease slightly for Trent and Robbo. But those guys are so creative in the Liverpool team that I think I'm going to keep the faith for now.
Yeah. How I look at it as I do for a lot of people, I tell people that, to me, Jordan Henderson's probably one of the most important people on our team and their championship. And it's not only off of me, he gets nominated for PFA player a lot of times. So it's something that English people see in it. He is a leader. He's a talisman. And I think he's the second, and Virgil is the second person like that in that team. I think it's just going to have a big effect on Liverpool. I feel like they wouldn't be as organized. He's a very good passer out the back. And that sets up a lot of the wing play for Salah and Mane. I guess it's left to be seen, but my thoughts are I'm worried about Salah. It's so crazy. I'm worried about Salah now because, well, minus the 1 point you could possibly get from a clean sheet as a midfielder, I worry that Liverpool may not be themselves and they might be struggling and they might sort of collapse if they keep conceding goals. They conceded 13 goals or something crazy like that already. And without Virgil, who is the stopper, as they would say in the Caribbean, the stopper. Um, I feel like I'm worried about the Salah, even though I feel like he will score, but I feel like it'll have a negative effect on the Liverpool team on a whole.
So for me, one thing we haven't mentioned yet is Alisson is still out.
Right.
And that's why I have worries about clean sheets. But I think if once Alisson is back there, and we all rate Klopp as one of the, let's say, top 3 or 4 managers in the world. So being one of the top managers in the world, I expect him to find a way to adjust somehow. And yes, the clean sheets will decrease slightly, but I'm not expecting Liverpool. I'm not expecting Liverpool to turn into Norwich of last year or somebody like that.
Exactly.
And just start conceding goals all over the place. He has Fabinho in the midfield. He has Thiago. So he has the defensive midfielders to help shield Matip, to help shield Joe Gomez. And I think he would adjust. Like I said, he has Henderson in the midfield. So it's not just about the back four. He has the guys to help shield. And maybe they may have to play a little deeper than usual and not just bomb forward.
Right.
But I think Klopp will adjust. And Alisson, I believe, should be back within the next 3 weeks or so. So that will solidify things a lot because Adrian is,
Yeah,
Adrian
you're not getting anything with that.
Yeah. Adrian is very poor at the back there. He's not the desired quality of, like, for say Man United over the past few years. If De Gea couldn't play, they had a reliable backup as Romero. Adrian is not that. But I think once Alisson is back, we can still count on the Liverpool defense. So that's why I said I'm not gonna just abandon Trent now that this has happened, but I'll be monitoring the situation closely.
Same. I have a close eye on the Salah effect. Let's move on to Chelsea and Spurs. We start with Chelsea. I made a move this week to get Havertz in my team, which was against everything in our WhatsApp group, right? And I saw a lot of positive things about Havertz. I saw him. I saw the position he plays. He's right behind. He's a tall. He's getting more confidence. He's getting into good spaces to score goals. So FPL wise, I could see. I is one of those guys I could just leave in our team, and I feel like he will do well. Would he give me a 3-goal haul? I'm not too sure, but I could tell he's gonna be in the attack a lot. And Chelsea has a lot of good pieces. Who else you see on Chelsea right now?
Well, we have to look at Pulisic. We have to look at Pulisic. We have to look at Ziyech came on for some minutes.
What your thoughts? Too short of a time, right?
Too short. But it's interesting to me that you even raised the point of Spurs and Chelsea, because Chelsea, we saw since last season, they concede some goals that, Lampard need to do something to tighten up. Whereas I am really concerned that a Mourinho team, who, he's known for being defensive, and Spurs, since Mourinho has been hired, Spurs haven't gotten better defensively.
Right.
And he's made transfers like Højbjerg. I mean, these are not guys you look at for FPL, but just in terms of solidifying the team, he's brought in Højbjerg. He's playing Sissoko. He's given Ndombele time. I mean, Ndombele does go forward a lot, but you would expect the team to be a lot more solid defensively. It just hasn't happened. Spurs are leaking goals. So these are two teams that just going to keep scoring. Do we have to wonder now, are Chelsea and Spurs going to keep being in three games every week?
Right.
4-2 games, 3-1 games. Like, do they always have to keep outscoring people? So it's positive in an FPL aspect where we can look at Son, we can look at Kane.
Right.
Even Bale got some minutes. We can look at Werner. We can look at Pulisic. We can look at Ziyech.
Chilwell.
Yeah, we can look at all these guys going forward, but defensively, are these teams going to stop conceding? Thiago Silva came in, but have you seen Chelsea gotten better defensively? I haven't. And both of these coaches have been there. Lampard, this is his second season, full season. I know Jose wasn't there at the start of last season, but
Right.
this is also his second season. And what are these coaches doing to solidify the teams defensively?
Right.
So these are guys we would definitely. It's very risky to touch their defenders. Although Aurier gets forward, Chilwell gets
Yeah.
forward.
Let's start with Chelsea and the backside. What are you thinking of? Chilwell is to me that's a good price, and like he still takes these corners and he was getting in the box to finish. So for me personally, I am looking to make a Chilwell move this week, if not the next one, right? Because after watching this game, despite it was Southampton and um I saw like Chilwell was up there, he was up there. So I like the in the back just Chilwell. Zuma's is trouble. Too much trouble. Maybe Mendy had to be in goal. We don't know. One of the goals
Yeah,
that
and
Mendy
we
could have
also
saved.
thought a couple of weeks ago we had a nice option in James, but then Aspilicueta been
I know that
starting.
was nuts. So to me,
I
Chilwell in the
I
back.
I will probably resist the temptation to go Chilwell anytime soon. I'm not seeing clean sheets happening at any time, and I'm gonna always be there biting my nails, hoping he assists. And Chilwell is not someone I would put in the category of a Robertson in terms of creating chances. So we were just speaking
I
about
would.
Spurs.
I would.
I wouldn't. We were just speaking about Spurs though, and I would more trust the Spurs fullbacks in terms of Reguilon and Aurier to create chances.
I
Reguilon
feel
is
different,
someone.
boy.
Now, Reguilon is someone I would be keeping my eyes on. I
Yeah.
believe he is very attacking. His numbers, even when he was at Sevilla last season, he was one of the most creative left backs in La Liga. So he has that proven pedigree that I just don't believe Chilwell has. So I'm a little down on Chilwell, but I'm up on Reguilon and
All right. Fair
Ori.
enough. Fair enough. I know Ori is a guy that, I mean, it looks like from everything, he has his starting spot. So he was a guy I was on my team last year. I left him in. I think he went up to like 5.4 or something like that from 5 last year. And he was a great guy to have in. So that's just looking at the backs. And we talk about Son and Kane are the guys to have. And, earlier I was anti-Spurs big time, but we're more and more realizing that like with the no fans or whatever it is, teams just not concentrated to the end. And so even the first goal, it was in like a matter of no time. And how they play in that high line or why the man send him inside, his son cutting on his
Yeah,
right foot.
that was absolutely
It,
poor
it's yeah,
defending.
it's you could tell it's not really coaching strategy. It is
Yeah,
definitely individual errors.
I questioned it while the game was going on. I was like, wow, that made no sense. But one thing I want to say, because even going back to our preseason shows, you remember I started this season with Werner and Kane. These are guys I
Wow,
expected to do well,
you would have cleaned
and
up shop this week, boy.
I sold them both. But I've already brought back in Kane for this upcoming game with my transfers this week. Although
Early
we'll talk about
transfer
that.
alert. Early
Yeah,
transfer
we'll
alert.
talk about that in the next episode. But I already did Vardy to Kane because Vardy didn't play. But yeah, just saying, I went into the season expecting Werner to score goals, expecting Kane to score goals, expecting great things from Son. So I think when we talk about Spurs and Chelsea, the attacking options definitely you should have multiple in your team. Even if it's one from each team, if you want to have Werner and Son, you want to have Kane and Pulisic, you want to have Havertz like you did. Bale is coming soon, so these are teams that gonna score 3 a game probably.
Right. Yeah, looking like,
And
from the looks of everything right now is looking like 3, sometimes
yeah,
Manchester United 4.
so right now I sold Werner about 2 weeks ago, but I know because I bought Son in last week, so thankfully Son was my captain this past week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Congrats on that. Congrats on that.
we didn't really recap our team. So right now I think I went from 2.5 million to 2.6 million, but I had 62 points this week. And I fell with a 62. So that says how well
I
people are
had
doing. But I
60.
had I had Son Cap, I had Salah. So these are guys I'm looking to keep in my team. I didn't plan on having both Son and Kane, to be honest with you. I was planning to have one of them, but the Vardy situation, I I just decided I'm gonna go to Kane for a while. Well, I'm not planning to keep them both, so eventually I may do Kane to Werner or something like that.
Right.
But these are guys you need to have on your team. You should have one of Havertz,
Yeah.
Werner, Pulisic. Then you should have one of Kane, Son, and if you're a gambling type Bill, these guys guaranteeing goals every week. You can set and forget.
Yeah, I feel it, and I feel like this is one of the things where it doesn't make sense because we look at one talking about Jose Mourinho team. You're not thinking of to have max 3 players on your team. Now you're talking about thinking of 3 main attackers on your team. Even back Regulion, Sergio Aurier might get assists, and coming off of what we spoke about and what I was harboring on was just like Spurs are not creating any chances in play, but now we're watching. This is a new ball game, and I guess this is why it's FPL and you're a manager. You then have to see, all right, this is what it is looking like. This is how teams scoring. So now you just have to adjust. This is not the normal ways where, the Man City with the possession going to give you all the FPL points. And that's what we're clearly seeing right now. Man City had all the possession and we get 1 goal from Sterling, right? And we watch Spurs come and they just score in counter-attack goals. So it defeats the odds of probability. But if this is a new probability, then they ain't good odds. So I think I don't have a problem with you having both, because they're giving any returns and everybody has them. They have high ownership. So you're not
That,
falling behind
gotta
to what?
gotta look at these teams.
I
Gotta look
fell
at these
behind
teams.
because I don't have Kane or Son, but I have guys who are giving me 1 goal. Danny Ings on my team. Um, and I leave Danny Ings there. He's gonna give me the goals.
Yeah, I think you have Calvert-Lewin, right?
I have Dominic, so he
Yeah.
give me a goal. Bruno, but I mean Bruno was great, but no, not the you're talking about two goals and assists from Harry Kane like that. You're not talking with that's a different ball game. When you're falling and climbing the charts, so that's Spurs and that's Chelsea. Everton, serious or you're not serious about Everton? In terms of two questions. In terms of outside FPL, are they a serious contender for top 4? And then in FPL, it was only 5 game weeks. Are they serious contenders to keep multiple players?
Okay, so I'll go first with outside FPL.
Outside FPL.
I am going to say that I believe they are top 6 contenders. I may not be sure about top 4 yet. I'm trying to count because I see City, Liverpool. So they're going to have to battle with Chelsea, United, Arsenal, Spurs. That's tough for those third and fourth places. Because without Virgil, I still think if Liverpool no longer favorites, they wouldn't drop lower than second. So it's a battle for Everton. So I'll say they are top 6 contenders. And in FPL now, I own no Everton players, which is why I'm at 2.6 million right now in the rankings. But I think especially James Rodriguez is worth having in your team because he creates so many chances. Calvert-Lewin, because of the chances being created by James and Richarlison and these guys, he's good. My only issue with Calvert-Lewin is right now he's being very clinical. He's finishing his chances. But in the games where he starts getting 1 and 2 chances per game, is he going to continue scoring, converting at such a high rate? I'm a little worried about that, but he is getting great service. Richarlison is another one. Well, now he's going to miss some games because of the red card, but
What are
I
your
think
thoughts on the
Everton,
effect on that? Probably Iwobi's going to come in.
yeah, for a week or 2 they could survive, but where I'm a little worried about Everton, how well the defense is going to do with guys like Mina at the back. Not really sold on him. Not sold on Pickford. So, yeah,
That's a
not sold on
bad pick I
Pickford.
made, man. Bad pick to have Pickford.
Not sold on Mina. Luka Dean is quality. Coleman is quality. But they're going to depend on a lot of Doucouré and Alan covering for guys like Mina for them to really continue to prosper in the way that they have at the
Do you
start of
think
the season.
DCL is going to eat food still? with m- a big attacking threat, Richardson out, you think he's still going to eat?
For a week or two, he can. Yes, I think they.
They have
If you
nice
told me
fixtures,
Richarlison is going,
Southampton and
yeah, if
Newcastle
you told
coming
me
up.
Richarlison is going to be out for 3 months, then I'd be like, oh my god, they're in problems. But if they have to go 2 games without Richarlison, they can survive. They have enough there that they can survive for a week or two. So I'm not overly worried. But the guy as I said, I have no Everton players. The guy I would focus on to bring into my team eventually is going to be James, because this guy is going to create so many chances.
All right. For me, I think this league right now is similar to 2015 where Leicester City won the league. That it's going to be very unpredictable, and I I think I think you'll be very naive to say who is going to win this league. To say City is going to win, I could see every single
Well,
team.
well,
No, not you per se. I mean, a
no.
pundit, a
But
pundit.
I was just gonna say I would have disagreed with you up until Van Dijk got injured. I would have disagreed. I don't think anything was up in the air until Virgil got injured. I think Liverpool, or from before the season started, I had them as the guys who are gonna win. So
Yeah.
I would only agree with you. No. I would agree.
These thoughts came because before the season started, I'd probably say City, Liverpool, but seeing the big effect of week after week, and our Champions League coming up, of no fans, and the effect that has in the league is something that, to me personally, I haven't seen this in like 10 years of EPL watching. I haven't seen these type of results happen. I haven't seen a team give up 3 goals. Like I've seen teams do it, but like now it's like expected that
Yeah,
goals are
like
going to score.
today. Well, we're taping this on Monday night for everyone who's going to be watching. But today is the first time we had a 0-0 for the season, I
Yeah,
believe,
West Brom
with
and
the West
Burnley.
Brom and Burnley. This is the first.
Right.
Goals have been flowing.
Right, and
So,
Premier League, and by chance is a league where you could get those crazy games, but you have a lot of those 0-0 games, and when certain teams arrive. So I per se, I don't see it being easy because I didn't expect the Brightons would be that well polished. And even though they didn't get the result against Crystal Palace is another team that could take away points from you. So I think there are more teams now that could take points from the Liverpools. Leeds almost did it in convincing style. And that was a promoted team. So I think that I don't see anything in Arsenal that would make me say they are top 6 team, just the name Arsenal, because they haven't established a brand. But I've seen teams like, Leeds established their brand. Leeds was unfortunate today, but it's just so much up and down around the table. Like I could see big teams losing games. And going back to FPL wise, Everton, I like James. And the crazy thing is I have James and DCL on my team, but I can't think of a time when, unless, the cards are right, where I think I could captain DCL maybe against a West Brom, or James. Whenever I captain James, he's not a guy I think I would captain. He's a guy I think I would leave in my team. He'll give me points. But I have a lot of those guys right now. So which I don't know if I'm going to share my team right now just so you could see what I'm talking about. But, I have guys in my team who uh, are guys who could score. Like Morpé has a great game against West Brom. Danny Ings. Um, Salah really, and Fernandez is I'm in a weird scenario right now where these are the guys I've trusted who I'm happy for West Brom, but I can't see myself really saying, all right, I feel comfortable captaining James or Dominic, because they're teams that they don't really hold the possession. So that's what my thoughts are on this. I'm just sharing my team right now, as you could see.
all right. So in terms of captaincy, I am going to just rely on the big boys throughout this season in terms of the Salahs and these guys. But I just want to go back a second. We were talking about those big teams and the ones who could, you know, threaten for the title. And something that's really worrying for me right now is, as you mentioned, the Champions League, and then we also have to study COVID-19. Then we have to study guys like KDB who tired or things like that happening. This is just a different time, like you said. Things are different this season. It's not just the lack of crowds or anything like that. So many things are going on, and it's hard to prepare. Which is also something like I did Vardy to Kane, and it's a worry in terms of Kane still has a Europa League game this week, and I'm worried that Jose doesn't rest him. So it's always a worry if you make your transfers early. This is a season where if you can, should make your transfers late as possible. This week I went against that, but I'm hoping that I can wait most times for my transfers because last week I kept faith with Vardy and then he didn't play. I knew there was a risk, but we all know Vardy going into every week is some type of
Mm-hmm.
thing going on, but he plays, and this week it went against me.
And
It's a risk.
yeah, and that's why EPL, I mean FPL manager, and this season, no matter once you don't fall behind to me like 250 points or whatever from the guy from the top, you're fine. But it's a scenario where I'm like Kane and Son could get injured this week. What you gonna do before another game plays? You know, so you just have to stay awake. Like nobody's gonna stay fit for the rest of the season, and these are not
Yeah,
the big players
and
right now.
guys have big games. Man United is playing PSG this week, so
Exactly.
it's not like Bruno or Rashford are gonna have a chance to rest.
Right.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
It's going to be tough. So that was Everton, and we spiral off to
Yeah,
Champions League. But going back now again, Villa. What are your thoughts on Villa?
well,
Non-FPL wise, FPL wise.
uh, non FPL wise, I think they were really good in the transfer window. They brought players they needed in terms of Watkins. They
Congrats on
needed.
the Barkley.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's when I get to the FPL wise. But yeah,
I
they,
remember
they,
that.
they, they did good in the transfer window. They got a striker in Watkins. They needed a striker. You know, they needed someone at the right back. They got Cash. They got Barkley into the midfield to help McGinn, and they needed more. They,
In the
they
goal.
couldn't just rely on they couldn't just rely on Grealish for everything. That's where Barkley comes in.
Correct.
Yeah, so they couldn't just rely on Grealish to
Correct.
create
Correct. Correct.
everything and
Correct.
do everything. So the manager bought very well. It's kind of reminiscent to when we spoke a couple of weeks ago about Newcastle buying exactly what they needed. And they didn't just buy to say that, okay, we bought players. You can't be mad at us fans. Say we didn't do it. You know, no, because there are some teams you just wonder, like, did they just buy this guy to appease fans to say we did
Right.
something? You know what I'm saying? Look, Van der Beek has been at Man United. He hasn't started a game yet. And that's one of those that just looks like,
We had to have a
yeah,
talk with Roma again about this man.
yeah, but that just looks like we made a transfer. So getting back onto Villa, look, they did well in the transfer window. Did I think from the team who barely escaped relegation last year, they would be almost at the top of the table right now because they have a game in hand, and if they win that, they will be at the top.
Right.
So they did well. FPL wise, I think you have to look at Barkley, you have to look at Watkins, you have to look at Grealish because these guys are very well priced. I bought in Ross Barkley last week. I spoke to you guys on the last episode saying my transfer would be Grealish or Barkley, and I
Right.
did Barkley. So he helped me this past week at 5.9. That's someone I can just see as my fourth midfielder going through the
Right.
season because he's going to start every game. And these are the guys we want because at the top end, the guys we have for 9 million or so sometimes could rotate because
Right.
of Champions League and stuff. Aston Villa doesn't have these commitments. Barkley is going to start every week. So
Barkley
I
is
think
left. Barkley is
also
5.9.
FPL wise, we have to talk about Villa defensively with Martinez coming in from Arsenal. They are getting clean sheets. They are one of the few teams who are getting consistent,
Yeah.
doing well defensively. So Villa is a team we definitely have to pay attention to for the mid and low budget options. My only thing is, do I think this is going to happen for 38 weeks? No, I don't. Do you ride it do you ride the wave while everything is running smoothly? Yes, get on Aston Villa. That's what I did last week with Barkley.
Yeah.
And if I need to make a goalkeeper change or a defensive change in the upcoming weeks, I'm going to be looking at Target. I'm going to be looking at Martinez and looking at Villa up front. So definitely.
Consa's been attacking to Consa's to
Yeah,
28
yeah.
points so far. And
So,
that's more than at 4 point. Well, he's 4.6 now. At 4.6,
yeah.
he's more
So
than
yeah,
a lot of what
Villa are
midfielders
good
have.
options. Um, um, uh, you didn't ask me, but am I going to say Villa is going to threaten the top six this year? Probably not. But that doesn't mean they're not going to provide valuable FPL options.
Correct.
So get those guys in.
Yeah, and I feel like summing up, I feel you with that. I connect with you on the fact that the FBL wise, you have the Grealish, you have. I like the value you could get. I'm unfortunate that we have to watch and we couldn't bring these guys in. Um, at the beginning of the season, everybody raising value and ownership, but yeah, like I said, I feel like Mings and these guys, they know what from seeing them play, they know what they're doing defensively, and you can't rely on anything or clean sheets this year. I think relying on clean sheets isn't it, but your odds increase when you have a 4.5. I mean, the value just increases with a 4.5 and your high odds of a clean sheet, and these guys attacking the ball from the head. So Villa defensively look great, and you made a good call with Barkley early. I wasn't fond of him in Chelsea, so I was like, I didn't really look at him too much. But at less than 6 right now on Monday night, he's probably gonna go back up to 6 before. I would probably say like Tuesday, he'll be before that, he'll be back up to 6. Because people will be on him. But yeah, good pick. You had him on there and your value is just gonna rise, I feel like. Especially he playing like 90 minutes. They're not subbing him. So Villa for sure is a good one. And the final team to wrap up the episode is West Ham. And I feel like these are like the table teams that they're gonna shake up the top guys.
Yeah, well, these are the lower level teams that have started the season really well, and Everton, Villa, West Ham.
Right.
West Ham, uh, they need to do better defensively because they are not a team that could rely every week on scoring 3 goals. As a Spurs or Chelsea, they are good, but they don't have the quality. They don't have that high level. They don't have a Werner, Kane, Son.
Right.
Mikel Antonio is doing very well. I like Fornals is doing well. Bowen is doing well. They bought Ben Rama. They have guys who will do well, but not at the Keane, Son, Werner, Pulisic level. So what they need to do is concentrate on doing better defensively.
Right.
David Moyes needs to work on that. So do I think West Ham will end up being as consistent as Villa or Everton we spoke about? Probably not, because I think Villa is better defensively, and I think Everton is slightly better going forward in terms of James and Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison. I think the West Ham level is just slightly below that. So out of the 3 teams, they would be the ones I'm slightly unconvinced by. Although they have a great start to the season, we can't deny that. But I just think the quality is that little less. But would I not look at them for FPL options? No, of course I would look for them as options.
Give me 3 FPL options.
Antonio is one for me because right now I have Mitrovic in my team who just missed a penalty this past weekend. And then he gave away a penalty. So Antonio, if I'm looking to get rid of Mitrovic, Antonio is somebody I would definitely consider. Bowen is someone I would definitely consider. Wait to see Ben Rama a little more once he solidifies a starting position.
Mm-hmm.
I have Souček in my team currently, but I'm going to get rid of Souček for one of the more attacking players. So Souček is one who probably wouldn't be in my team long. I don't know when I'm going to use my wild card, but I have a sense it's going to be soon. So Souček would come out of my team with the wild card. But I would look at the front players. I'm not going to look at the back. Although Cresswell and Masuaka have put a lot of crosses into the box, created a lot of chances. I believe Cresswell created more than Robertson so far for the season.
I was just about to holler to the points that Cresswell at 5. He has 29 points. Bowen at 6.3 has 29 points. And I just watching off of their play so far, he puts in some dangerous crosses. So you're putting your odds up.
But my worry about Cresswell and these guys are the same thing I mentioned with Chilwell. I just don't see them getting clean sheets on the weeks that they don't get assists. And that's a big worry for me because I don't know if they can do it every week.
How about if we look at it this way? They may not get the clean sheets at 5. Cresswell is a 5. But Robbo and TAA right now at 7s, I can't point at any team in the league, right? Any player in the league, right, who could get a clean sheet, right? They offering value at 5.
They are. I'm not disputing that
Yeah,
at all. They are, but I'm doubting the consistency in future.
true, true,
I'm not
true.
really focused on what they have done so far. They have done well so far, and there's nothing I can say to dispute that. I'm worried about the consistency going forward.
All right, and that's all the stuff that we had to cover right now. But I was about to ask you, what your move would be and what you're considering. But Kane is the option. Is there anybody else in your team that you might take a hit for, that you're looking at, that you might
I
take a
doubt
hit
I'm
for?
going to take a hit, but the one I was considering, but I don't want to take a hit defensively. I was considering getting rid of Holding from Arsenal because he hasn't played in the last 2 games, and I wanted to get in Lamptey from Brighton
Mm-hmm.
because Brighton has some good fixtures coming up. And I wanted to get in Lamptey, but I don't think I'm going to make a -4, so I'll have to play one of the defenders on my bench this week instead of Holding. I have Jamal Lascelles from Newcastle. I
And
might
they,
I might start him because I'm gonna start Trent. I'm gonna start Mitchell from Palace.
right.
So I need a third defender. I'm probably gonna just put in Lascelles. But I do want Lamptey in my team, but I think that have to happen on a wild card. Um, Lamptey would be the one I would suggest who I'm looking at right now.
Yeah.
Wolves defenders also, guys. Wolves have some good fixtures coming up.
I watched the Wolves game today. I didn't see anything from their defenders. They just like I would still pick a Leeds defender before them. I don't know what's going on at Wolves right now. Like the game, they just was like I didn't see Semedo. I was excited about Semedo. I didn't see him go up too much, but I see some other guys. Like I actually think Creswell was more attacking in terms of the crosses than
Yeah, but
Sai
the
scored
next
a good goal today. That was good.
yeah, that
Sai
Saiz
scored a
is a
good goal.
good option. I think Saiz is a good option.
Yeah, Sai is a good option.
Saiz is a good option.
But Brighton has West Brom coming up, and you never know. Like Lamptey
Yeah,
gets up there. So
I really like Lamptey, but that
if
I'll have to
if
wait
if
on that move.
Lamptey gets you assist and a clean sheet, it makes up for the minus.
It does, but I think I want to play it easy this week. Um, but we'll
Uh,
talk on our
we'll
next
talk on the
episode because
next episode.
we're gonna have another episode before Game Week 6, so we'll talk more about Game Week 6 in the next episode. Tonight I guess we kind of went over Game Week 5 and other things like that. But if anyone have any questions or anything like that, anything they want us to discuss in the next one before Game Week 6, just hit us
Hit
up.
us on Twitter, Instagram,
Yeah, at
wherever.
FPL guys, Instagram at FPL_Island guys. Yeah, we'll discuss Game Week 6 in further depth. And I don't know. What about you? What moves are you considering going into Game Week 6, or you want to wait?
Yeah, in a weird way, I actually feel like my team. I was happy to get in the two Brighton guys before the West Brom game. I think Brighton's gonna score a few goals in that game. So all my players bringing in returns except the back line. If it looks like Luke Shaw is going to play again, who's in my team, and I'm just so embarrassed by this. But Luke Shaw and Pickford are 2 men are just embarrassing me, FPL wise and non-FPL wise.
Mitrovic is doing that to me.
Yeah, I'm just embarrassed to have them. It's just like I'm embarrassed
Mitrovic
to
is
have
doing
Luke
that to
Shaw.
me,
Even
but I don't want to minus.
To tell people I have Luke Shaw on my team that you see any name is just embarrassing.
Yeah,
So gonna see what happened with the Teller situation. I know Manchester got the win, so would that necessarily mean he would bench? I don't know if he's gonna bench, but I'm gonna pay attention and probably hold that till Friday. And like I said, I'm really big on getting in Chilwell in my team. I think he will bring some attacking returns. I'll be hurt if he score and I left him out. But they play Manchester United, so I'm not sure of a clean sheet. But Champions League, we'll look at Champions League this week, and by the next episode, hopefully we could get a clearer picture of if anybody injured or who might need rest or something like that. So
yeah.
I'll hold out on my transfer until like Friday.
So
Thursday.
yeah, I was just about to say. Just want to let everybody know. Don't forget,
Early game week.
There's a Friday game this week. Villa Leeds. And last thing to point out also, next week we have another. So we had a room before. We have another person from the soccer arena coming in next week. As I guess we'll keep that a secret for now. So we have another soccer entertainer coming up. And yeah, just any questions or anything someone wants us to talk about, just let us know before we do the next show. And In the meantime, let's just cross our fingers. No one in the Champions League or Europa League gets injured or gets COVID-19, and that's it from me.
All right, same here. Thank you,
All right,
everybody.
so
Thanks for
yeah,
listening.
good night.
Peace
Bless.
up, man. Yeah, bless.